This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Let's start with the good news. The House has just passed a bill to prevent the government from shutting down, but just by a few weeks. I'll play a quick video clip from Nancy Pelosi talking more on the House floor. Also, 1,000 families to start getting $2,000 payments this week. Are you eligible? And one state is giving $500 per month to undocumented immigrants. I'll give you some other stimulus check articles as well. And the Democrats have just had a press conference pushing for the child tax credit as well as the adult tax credit, which is the credit you get for not having any kids at all. So I'll play a quick video clip there and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So House passes short-term government funding bill that would prevent shutdown, sends it to Senate. So the House has passed a temporary government funding bill that would prevent a shutdown later this month, which is February 18th. It actually says right here. Senate plans to approve the plan by a February 18th deadline to avoid lapse in federal funding. And the bill would extend funding through March 11th and could give lawmakers enough time to craft a long-term spending plan. I don't know how much more time they need to create a bill to fund the government for the entire year rather than just delaying it every month or two or even a few weeks at this point. Here is Nancy Pelosi talking more about this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Madam Chair for recognition, and thank you for your strong leadership in bringing the CR to the floor, but also for your relentless work in negotiating the omnibus, what this is all about. Madam Speaker, I rise today in support of the continuing resolution that will keep government open, meet the needs of the American people, and honor the values of our nation. This short-term measure will ensure that we have the time we need to finalize negotiations on a strong, bipartisan omnibus to fund the government through the end of the year. As I commend the gracious Madam Chair Rosa DeLauro, Chair of the Appropriations Committee, I want to also commend Ranking Member Granger for her leadership as well. This legislation extends government funding at current levels through March 11th. To be clear, this bill keeps government open while making virtually no changes to existing funding policy. The CR does, however, include urgently needed emergency funding to help clean up contaminated drinking water in Hawaii leaking from Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility. In doing so, we deliver a crucial down payment to help the Navy meet immediate needs and keeps families safe. But in order to advance our priorities for our country, Madam Speaker, and our communities in the long term, Congress must enact an omnibus funding package. For families, a new full-year spending package means strengthening public schools, protecting clean air and clean water, improving public health, and ensuring food and consumer safety. For workers, it means creating new jobs and supporting small businesses. For our veterans, it means funding for benefits, reducing backlogs for veterans and their families seeking assistance, and meeting the needs of the VA's healthcare system. For our national security, it means support for our troops, improvements to defense readiness and modernization, the securing of our cyber infrastructure, and stronger leadership abroad. And now that President Biden has proudly signed our bipartisan infrastructure bill, it is essential that we enact an omnibus in order to unlock billions in more federal dollars for infrastructure projects. While they were in the infrastructure bill, the money cannot be spent unless we pass the omnibus. So it will help us rebuild our nation while reinvigorating our middle class, creating millions of good-paying jobs, improving roads and bridges, ports and airports, water systems, broadband, special rural broadband, and more. As a preamble to our Constitution states, it is our duty as lawmakers to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. Today, we uphold this sacred responsibility in the short term with this continuing resolution and with our omnibus legislation, which we hope to bring to the floor soon. We will take an important step to honor that vision of our founders. With that, I urge a strong bipartisan aye vote, and I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So we'll see what happens when it goes to the Senate. We don't know if it'll pass or not. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, some Republicans are opting to stay out or not vote for the government funding because of federal vaccine mandates. But I'll keep you updated what happens with that. Next, 1,000 families to start getting $2,000 payments this week. Are you eligible? So each eligible family in Phoenix, Arizona will be getting a total of $12,000 via debit cards during the next 12 months under the city's financial assistance program. So the 1,000 families with children were selected in a lottery out of more than 7,000 eligible families. Basically, to be eligible, family of fours earnings cannot exceed 80% of the median income for the area, which is $63,000. And so they're basically getting $1,000, but the reason why it's $2,000 is because of this. So, however, since there were no payments in January, these cards are being loaded with $2,000 according to Ms. Courtier. So basically, it's $1,000 per month, but February is going to be $2,000. So that's going on in Phoenix, Arizona. Then pilot program will provide $500 a month for some undocumented immigrants in New Mexico. So this is another universal basic income program where in New Mexico, 330 families from 13 New Mexico counties are going to get $500 per month beginning in March. The payments will be delivered through direct deposit or prepaid cards. So yeah, it's going to provide payments to qualifying families beginning in March. The coalition says New Mexico Immigrant GBI Project. So it's going to go to undocumented and mixed immigration status people in New Mexico, $500 a month there. Then this article, the last of the $1,400 stimulus checks will get distributed to eligible parents this tax season. Basically talking about the third stimulus check. If you did not miss it, there's a few different ways to get it by claiming your taxes. So make sure you know the different ways, whether you had a baby, missing child tax credits, or missing stimulus check for dependents. That's the way you could claim that. That's basically what this article is talking about here. Then stimulus checks worth nearly $1,000 have been announced for several American states. So what this is talking about, a few different states here. So talking about California, how there could be $1,100 stimulus checks there because California just has so much money they don't know what to do with it. And then we have Florida giving out $1,000 checks to teachers for the second year in a row. Indiana giving out $125 stimulus, although not really stimulus, it's more of a tax bonus when filing your tax return in Indiana, because Indiana has a ton of money too. They have a surplus, so they're giving the money back to residents. Not as much as California, but still something. Then we have in New York, they're giving money to people who lost their employment due to pandemic, were unable to collect stimulus payments owing to their immigrant status, might apply for excluded workers fund. So those are checks going to people who were different immigrant status in New York. They could collect retroactive pay there. And then Tennessee, hazard pay is being paid to some government employees in Tennessee. A $1,000 incentive will be given to full-time instructors, and teachers who work part-time will get $400. Then we have Texas. Some school districts are increasing teacher salaries. Some have promised a $2,000 stimulus payout, while others have offered a $500 stimulus check. That's going on in Texas. And yeah, so those are the latest with those states giving out money. In terms of the fourth stimulus check, $2,000 per month to every American petition, currently at 3,030,000 signatures so far. Still not enough support for a general fourth stimulus check. When it comes to the Build Back Better, this article says, still dead, Biden keeps pushing Build Back Better despite lack of bills. So what's going on here is Wednesday today, the president will meet with utility CEOs to discuss the Build Back Better, according to official White House schedule, which touts the plan as the largest investment to combat climate change in U.S. history, a way to lower energy costs and create union jobs. So yeah, basically President Biden having another meeting with CEOs. He met with tech CEOs, or actually not just tech, but other big CEOs last week. But still, we haven't seen a new version of the Build Back Better or anything that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema will support. So all these meetings and talks, it's great for publicity, but if Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema don't support it, then it's all in vain and they don't mean anything. So I'll keep you updated with that. Then Democratic lawmakers not giving up on child tax credit, betting on Manchin support. So Manchin told reporters Tuesday that he is not a part of any organized discussions about the child tax credit. So I play a lot of video clips, talk about articles, and almost every Democrat is saying, yeah, we're still in discussions with Manchin. Manchin's going to be on board eventually. But then Manchin just keeps coming out and saying, I'm not a part of any organized discussions, or the bill is dead, or I haven't spoken to anybody about it. So I don't know what's going on here. It's a really weird thing going on in the Democratic Party. Anyways, here is a video clip of senators talking about the child tax credit, also the adult tax credit, which is the credit you could get up to $1,500 without having any kids at all. Take a look at this video clip right here.
We're here today to talk about the expanded child tax credit and the earned income tax credit, which together are the biggest step to help families and working people in this country in a generation. We tripled the earned income tax credit, which meant that 17 million workers without children benefited from it, and almost every family, 90% of the families in this country, have received the benefit of the expanded child tax credit. In Colorado, that's been an average of $445 a month for families. 61 million kids in this nation have benefited, a million kids in Colorado. We've cut childhood poverty nearly in half in this country. We've cut hunger by 25% in the United States this year alone because of these tax policies. In my view, these are the most successful and most progressive social policies that have been passed by Congress in generations. And we have seen a substantial, as I said, substantial reduction in child poverty as a result. Families all over the country have said, for once, it's nice to see the government in Washington doing something for us. And as American families are facing higher and higher costs, facing inflation, the last thing we should be doing is cutting this child tax credit. In my view, the last thing we should be doing is doubling childhood poverty, increasing hunger in the United States by 25%. I've been around this place for long enough to see what happens when wealthy people's tax cuts expire, and they're extended as a matter of course. I've seen what happens in this place when some of the largest corporations in America have their tax cuts expire. We do everything we can to make sure that those tax cuts are extended by the end of the year, and we have not done that. And as a result of that, we're doubling the childhood poverty rate in this country, and as I said, we're increasing hunger. So I think we are here today to say that we want, as a centerpiece of any package that we pass together, any reconciliation package, that the expanded child tax credit and the expanded earned income tax credit should be part of that, must be part of that. Every single person up here thinks we should make these changes to our tax code permanent. And with that, I'll turn it over to my partner in all.
So what are your thoughts on that for the adult tax credit? Do you think that should be a monthly check, sort of like the child tax credit? Let's say you don't have any kids, but they were to split up that $1,500 credit that you could get as an adult, also known as the earned income tax credit. Do you think that should be a monthly check as well, sort of like the child tax credit, how they did that? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, so my name is Bella. This is the tip of the day. If you make a mistake, then it's okay. You learn from your mistake, it makes you a better person. So it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We like you a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your support. So it looks like the weather's getting a little bit nicer. We're going to start to do some nicer things outside over the next few days. I've been playing a little more pickleball than usual. I just love playing it so much, any chance I get. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you want to check out my latest Wise Buys video, I have some clips of me surfing. You can click up here. I have I'm talking about a surf mount that I put on my surfboard. So when I surf, you get some cool video shots. So if you want to see some surfing clips, click up there. Surfing clips of me, actually. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.